Hebrew University is a very special place for me. I was born in Palestine. Israel didn't exist at the time that I was born there. And Hebrew University was always the mecca of knowledge and education in Israel.
Well, I have close ties to the Hebrew University. I've been a collaborator of the collected papers of Albert Einstein, and I was a guest professor in Israel in the early 90s to work on Einstein's legacy, preserved by the Hebrew University.
Сам по себе университет является лидирующим еврейским или израильским университетом, и это очень большое, важное научное и учебное заведение. И мы тогда решили, вернее, я решил, меня поддержали, открыть Центр изучения российского и русскоязычного и восточноевропейского еврейства, Центр Невзлина называется, в Еврейском университете в Иерусалиме.
Well, I'm Jewish, of course, but haven't really had a lot of connection to Israel during my life, and my association with Hebrew University has provided that connection and provided me with a way to make some small contribution to Israel and particularly to Israeli science.
My personal experience with that Hebrew University was when I was in the army, and the Hebrew University had a division inside Tel Aviv University teaching economics and business administration.
I heard about the university many years ago, but unfortunately I didn't study. I went early to work, and I find it very interesting to me because imagine Jose Mugrabi, no study, to be close to Einstein. I think this is the biggest pleasure to me.
I came to Israel in 1969 to first explore some ideas I had about my dissertation, and met some of the great scholars at the Hebrew University, and became a friend, I can say, of all of these people. And I've come back in different guises to the Hebrew University.
My father, encouraged by his father, was actually a student at the university in 1937-38. He later reconnected through the Canadian Friends. My son Mark Adam and I came on our first visit in 2010. It was an eye-opening experience, truly inspiring. Meanwhile, 3 months later, my dad was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. 6 months later, he was dead. That was the beginning of my real relationship with the university. I conceived of an international and collaborative research program in pancreatic cancer that would include a team from the Imric researchers who had so impressed me on my visit.
One of my leading values is universality, meaning the equality of all human beings, mutual respect for each other, and also for common goods. Chief among them, the living conditions of humans on Earth.
One of our key values is that education is the key to life that benefits not only you but also society. And we also think that education can lift trajectory for minorities all over the world.
I believe fervently in kindness, compassion, and generosity, of spirit always. I think that in this world, we have to take care of one another and to contribute in whatever way we can.
Well, I'm a scientist, and really my entire adult life has revolved around science and my family, not necessarily in that order, but they provided me with a gratifying and full life, and I guess the value is to do my best, serving science and helping my family.
I like to work. I like to create in what I'm doing, to be with principle, to create better things in life.
I have a passion for the Jewish people. I've taught Jewish history for many, many years. And as the president of Brandeis University, I created 17 centers, many of which deal with issues that are of importance, of interest to the Jewish communities.
Основные values, my leading values, это быть евреем, свободным евреем, быть свободным человеком worldwide, исповедовать принципы либерализма, принципы гуманизма и принципы демократии.
Jerusalem represents for me the renaissance of the Jewish people and of Israel. It's a place that's very dear to me, to my family.
My connection to Jerusalem started when I was a kid. I also remember the first time that I traveled to Jerusalem when I was 14 and a half years old. and seeing all the tanks and the armaments and everything else on the road. And we were just there a few months ago and saw the new rail line that goes from Tel Aviv there. And this is all in one lifetime.
Jerusalem is a dream because we have a small prayer to say next year we'll be in Jerusalem. So this is a dream coming true.
My connection to Jerusalem is really through Hebrew University and primarily the Safra Center at Hebrew University. I knew for a long time about the excellence of neuroscience at the university. And when the Safra Center was inaugurated, I had the honor to be asked to join the advisory board and then for the last 10 years to chair it.
My connection to Jerusalem is undeniably spiritual. Something warms and moves inside me when I see the sun gleam on the gold dome and the Jerusalem stone absorb the light of the setting sun.
Jerusalem has been always my dream city. I studied ancient Hebrew in school and became fascinated by the ancient history of Jerusalem. And then, as it turned out, in the 1990s, Jerusalem became my hometown for almost a year.
Вот. Я очень люблю Иерусалим. Я часто бываю в Иерусалиме. Вот. И для меня является обычаем перед каждым важным событием поехать и, ну скажем, помолиться у Стены плача, Western Wall.
If you have education and you know a little bit about history, you know about civic values, you know a little bit about technology, you can solve almost any problem between two people. That's why it's important to us to educate people all the way from kindergarten and first grade all the way through the PhD program, and then the faculty.
Like most biologists, I hope that what we learn in the laboratory will contribute eventually to improved human health.
Well, I can only say one strives to contribute. History of science is no field with immediate applications, but it may be considered as a resource of reflection on our predicament and also on the role of science.
Я закончил свою бизнес-карьеру, я закончил свою карьеру общественно-политическую. Я решил посвятить себя до конца вопросам гуманитарного свободного образования. И я вижу целью своей жизни, в том числе, возврат Израиля к демократии и либерализму.
I really consider what I do at the Mandel Foundation much more important than my research. I feel that my research and my current activities merge, that my knowledge, to the extent that I have that knowledge in Jewish history, and what I do now sort of merge. And in that sense, I feel very good about what we do.
Since we began the Alex Usoika International Pancreatic Research Project in 2014, the 5-year survival rate for the disease has increased from 5 to 9%. With the collaboration of the Ontario Institute for Cancer Research in Toronto and a team from Sheba Medical Center in Tel Aviv, we gathered and connected dedicated and talented researchers who have been working primarily on targeted therapies and early detection.
As a retired businessman, finishing a career of 50 plus years in business, the next career was to create opportunities for young people to experience a better world than our world. I dedicated our family philanthropy into enabling young people to go and study and research and discover new fields into making the world a better place.